MSB here, and it's time for part 2 of our budget deck breakdown featuring the Warrior class. Today we're going to be taking a look at 3 different scenarios. First, how to use this deck as a semi-rush deck. Second, how to play against a rush deck. And third, how to win against a deck that prefers the long game. So, let's get started.
Garrosh versus Garrosh.
Okay, so obviously very strong Taskmaster into Berserker. Definitely going to keep those. Pitch back 6. Don't need an Ogre right now. Hopefully we can pull something very early so we can get some good early game aggression. Oh, perfect. Okay, Argent Squire gives us some very good early game options. And we're going first, so Squire's going to be right out the gate. And then we've got a few options from there. We can Taskmaster something with a 2 defense with the Argent Squire in that. Firey War Axe. Whew. This plethora of early game options. I may be going for some rush on this.
The light protects me.
Argent Squire. Okay, so the 2 options that I have now is Taskmaster or Firey War Axe. What? Loot Hoarder. No, I don't want to use the Loot Hoarder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Firey War Axe. While this is a bit of an overkill for one swing, what this does is it gives me another swing at turn 3, which will then let me dump my Berserker out early and charge it up at least 1, if not 2, charges before we can do anything about it. Okay, oh, Harvest Golem. He thinks this is a great play. This is going to be a great play for me. So definitely get that Berserker out. Oh, Shieldmaster's great. Yep, we can swing that off. And then kill off the 2-1. And now I've got a 5-4 Berserker on turn 3. The only thing he could answer would be, like a Taskmaster to execute, but, then that's great. Oh, fantastic. The other option is Heroic Strike, but most people don't play Heroic Strike. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover him up with a Shieldmasta. Now with a 3-5, and no coin, he doesn't have any options. Again, he could still execute, but then that's 2 cards for my 1, and while it... Corcoran Elite. Okay. Now I'm a 7-4. I'm thinking he has a Whirlwind in hand. Because it wouldn't make any sense to drop him to a 1 health if he didn't have a Whirlwind. So I'm going to pump up my Shieldmaster, because that way he's got a 2 health and will survive a Whirlwind. And now I'm going to swing in for 10. Get that Loot Hoarder out. Sorry, 11. Counting skills for the win. It doesn't matter, I don't need to count, I'm rushing. Okay, well, never mind, not rushing anymore, well played. Obviously, very fast out of the gate with this deck. You can do a lot of damage if you get one of those early game Berserkers and manage to cover it. Fantastic. And a win streak.
Garrosh versus Rexar.
Okay, Hunter. A lot of Hunter Rush in this meta currently. Oh, that's great. Well, of course, other than, again, the Ogre. Get that Ogre out of here. He always shows up in my opening hands. I don't know why. But this gives me a lot of protection. I've got the Argent Squire first turn. The Argent Squire. It may as well be called the Argent Squire. Okay, Organ Infiltrator. Definitely throwing out the Argent Squire. Because now I get that for free. Then if he brings out something else, then I can Cleave. From here, it sort of depends on what his next move is. Steady Shot. And straight to me. Okay. Normally you wouldn't reveal your Worgen unless you were rushing. So, I think that I'm going to hold off on coining to the Cleric. I want to coin next turn for a Yeti, because if this is a rush deck, I need to make sure that I have a strong troop out to make sure that I 2 for 1 next turn. Or the following turn, I should say. On turn 4. My turn 4. What's he going to do? 3? Eaglehorn Bow, kill off my guy? Okay, no, this is a rush deck. The only reason why he'd be throwing out weapons like that is if he's just planning to take me out. Okay, so yeah, coin. Throw out my Chillwind Yeti. Swing in for the 1. I need to start punishing his health. And what I need to start doing is making sure that I put some armor on. Because armor is going to be very important. I got my Cleave if he throws out 2 things at a time. Okay. I doubt that's an explosive trap. That's freeze trap, maybe? Misdirection, perhaps? Because, yeah, what I'll do is swing in with my Argent Squire first. See what it is. Misdirection. Yep. Okay, that's hitting me. Okay, that's actually really good, because my biggest concern right now is that he has an explosive shot. So I need to cleric my Yeti so it has a 6 health. So if he does have an explosive shot, my Yeti stays on the board if he, say, brings out, you know, a raptor and then hounds it, houndmasters it or something. So I need to have something on the board. Okay, 3. Shot. Okay, he's, yeah, just running right past me. Unfortunately, he didn't bring out a second troop. What I need to do is survive until I can cleave. As soon as I cleave, I win. Okay. So at this point, what I'm just going to do is throw out the axe, armor up, trade off, and I'm going to swing in to pressure his health, and to make sure that if he has, say, something like an acidic swamp ooze, I don't lose my whole axe. I'm not going to be really wanting to attack a minion much anyway, because then that does the damage to me. So hopefully next turn he throws out 2 things, and then I can cleave. Let's see what he does. Yes, 6 mana. This is where he would wanting to be, you know, he'd want to have me dead either this turn or next turn. So we'll see where he goes from here. I'm safe from the explosive shot, so that's good. Yeah, you take out my Shattered Sun Cleric, but that's fine. Arcane Golem. Okay, yeah, okay, so this guy, yeah, serious rush. 2 and Arcane Shot. Okay. That's great. Whenever you get a rush deck to... Let me just see. Okay, so he's doing Eaglehorn Bow, that means he has no traps in hand. Or I'm assuming not. And in Champion... You know, instead of Champion, I'm going to Armor. I need to keep my armor up, so I'm going to Ventrico Mercenary, swing in for 3. And this puts lethal on the board as well. So, obviously, Stormwind Champion puts lethal, but the extra 2 armor is going to be good in case he had, you know, like a Timberwolf and double, what's-a-face? Kill command. Okay. 1, 2, and an abusive sergeant. Okay, so he has to kill off my Ventrico Mercenary, but even if he does, that's fine, because I'm going to cleave next turn, and then I'll have commanding board control, and 10 health. Okay, so he's just given up. That's fine. Well played. Obviously, oh, and a Shieldmasta. So, I had a lot of options to finish this guy off. Yeah, even if he had taken out my Ventrico Mercenary, that would have been both of his big damage dealers. Both Arcane Golems gone, and those are really the big guns. Yeah, victory quest done. Oh, double victory! So powerful.
Versus Uther. I will fight.
Okay, so not a lot of great early game options. Obviously what I'm going to do is pitch the Arcanite Reaper. Hopefully draw something a little bit cheaper. So I can have something... No. Okay, so Ventrico Mercenary. Not an early game option. So either it's doing nothing the first 2 turns, or hopefully I draw something here. Hey, how you doing? Oh, this ogre. Get out of here with that. Okay, so no good first turn option. Fantastic curve, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that means that both first turn and second turn, I'm doing nothing other than armoring up. So maybe draw something else. What are you doing? It's 1 mana. Thank you. Okay, Cleave. Great. So so throw that out, and obviously next turn we'll be using up my Golem, unless of course he drops 2 troops in this turn, and then cleave them both. Okay, buddy, it's 2 mana. I'll give you here. Let me break it down for you. You either drop a 2-cost troop, use your hero power, or coin to a 3-cost troop. Like a golem. Not that tough.
Mind if I roll
Okay, Loot Hoarder, thank you. Which means he's saving his coin, so he's got probably a True Silver Champion or something. Okay, yep. Throw out my Harvest Golem. And see if he coins to True Silver Champion. And what he does with his Loot Hoarder will sort of really tell me what kind of deck he is playing. Because if he prefers the early game damage, then that means he's playing a more aggressive deck. Going to... not that one. No. Do you do that one? I don't know. Okay, Hammer of Wrath. Fine. Perfectly fine. So, drawing a card. So, if he puts the damage on me initially, then that means that he's playing something faster. No, he just wants the card draw. So, this makes me think that he's playing a very slow deck. So, I'll throw out my Shieldmasta. And we'll see what he does here. 4 cost. Oh boy, so turn 5. Obviously I've got my 2 Ventrico Mercenary, so that sounds like a great plan. Of course, if the game ever proceeds. Come on! I'm pretty sure everybody has been in this sort of situation where, you know, you just have to wait for the other person. I mean, he's got 8 cards in hand. Just play something. I know, that Shieldmasta always gives people a hard time. I'd say the Shieldmasta in this game is the single biggest waste of time. Not because it actually is a bad play, but because the amount of time that your opponent then has to think about what they're going to do next. Great, True 7 Champion. He probably has a Consecrate in hand then. Because if he's just knocking this down to 1 health, then fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play out one of my Ventrico Mercenaries. This is dangerous because he could Aldar Peacekeeper it, but then he wouldn't be able to Consecrate it. Unless he decides to Consecrate and then swing in and deal 7 damage to himself, which I seriously doubt he won't. So either my Shieldmasta lives this turn, or everything gets wiped and he takes a ton of damage. Aldar Peacekeeper. Okay, so he's playing a much slower deck. And Hero Power. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
Now, of course, what this allows me to do is Cleave and use my Ventrico Mercenary to start doing some damage. Hopefully he plays something huge next turn so I can kill off my Ventrico Mercenary. Put 1 damage onto whatever he brings out and then execute it. And then play like my my Ogre Mercenary or something. Oh no. Okay.
Let me think.
So let's talk about what he's done so far. He's slow played me. He wants to keep my Mercenary on the board because it increases the cost of my troops. And he's obviously favoring the late game. So he wants to keep my Merc out so that way I don't get a lot of troops on the board.
I wonder.
And that's why he's taking so long. At least that's why I think he's taking so long. He could Consecrate. Okay, he's going to Hammer of Wrath. Okay, I am reasonably certain he has a Consecrate in hand. But he just does not want my Merc to go away.
Reporting for duty.
And he didn't bring anything out that's fantastically important, but I drew my Yeti. Perfect. So I'll just keep that out there. Now, what could he do here? Gosh, that's a great question. I'm through looking. Okay, great. Harvest Golem. Fantastic. So he is going to Harvest Golem into Hero Power. Okay, Harvest Golem into Hero Power. And then, is he going to use up that 4? No, he's going to attack my Yeti. Okay. He has got to have healing options in his hand if he's willing to drop himself down to 19. Yeah, because I don't mind trading this off. I am reasonably certain that he has a Consecrate in hand. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to play out my Firey War Axe and my Ogre, kill off him so that way he doesn't, you know, Blessing of Might or Blessing of Kings and trade off. I want my Ogre to be on there with no minions on his side of the field. And now I'm going to have a lot of options because I could, since I've got 3 armor and I'm still at 30 health and he's at 19, I could swing in with my Firey War Axe and execute. I could, okay, yep, here's this healing. course. If someone takes themselves down to 19 that fast, when they don't have to, they've got to have that healing option. Okay, so what I'm inclined to do is to swing in, execute off, and I'm going to attack in for 6, and then I'm going to Loot Hoarder and Venture Mercenary. Now, yes, this runs the risk of him Aldor Peacekeepering my second Venture Mercenary, but then that leaves my Boulderfist Ogre at least out to do some damage, and I've got my Arcanite Reaper to swing off against anything else. You know, if he threw out, say, another Guardian of Kings, I'd be happy to Arcanite Reaper and trade off my Loot Hoarder. He's got a ton of cards. Obviously, he's wasting me right now in card advantage. Very soon, I'm going to be going into top deck mode. So I'm trying to throw out enough damage, because right now I've got lethal with my Arcanite Reaper. Because I'm doing, what, 13, 14, 15, 20. I've got 20 damage next turn that I can throw out. So if he doesn't heal or throw out a taunt... Okay. So he's got a second Guardian of Kings. That's fine. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is, as I mentioned, I'm just going to swing in. I'm going to get my Loot Hoarder to start doing some work for me. Obviously, I would have loved to have the Cleave as my draw instead of the Yeti, because then I would have cleaved both of them out, but fine. That's fine. I obviously want to take the damage on my Venture Mercenary, so he's closer to being killed than if I had, say, taken the damage on my Boulderfist Ogre. Because that's always the thing. Whenever you're playing against a Paladin deck, and you run Venture Mercenaries, you have got to... Okay, he's double carding. Okay. Fine. Bring out something else. Okay. Well, that definitely stinks. He has allowed me to do a perfect and a Blessing of Wisdom. You can take that Blessing of Wisdom and draw as many cards as you like, sir. There is no way I am not attacking with a 7 damage creature, so yeah. Swing off, throw that out, and take 7 damage and draw a card. Go ahead. Fair deal by me. And I got my Yeti and my Venture Mercenary out. We're obviously in late game. He's got massive card advantage, and he will continue to pull card advantage after that Blessing of Wisdom on my Venture Mercenary. I do have an Execute. I do have Stormwind Champion. That's one of actually the better parts about the Mercenary, is once you get to top deck mode, it doesn't matter, because whatever you play, even if it's another Stormwind Champion, you can still play it. The only disadvantage is then not also being able to armor up. So the Mercenary is only, his weakness only lasts that initial phase, that sort of mid-game phase as you're both jockeying for board position. After that, it doesn't really matter. So what I have to worry about here is like an equality. Yeah, that'd be pretty disgusting if he equalities. Okay, another Argent Commander. Okay. And a Consecrate. See, I knew he had one in his hand. That's fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna okay, no, I'm gonna throw out my Stormwind Champion because I'm gonna do 8 damage to this guy's face and make him draw another card. Pow. The disadvantages are if he has another Consecrate and he kills off my Stormwind Champion. Does that mean you're done? Huh? I'm not buying it. You're taking way too long. So,
I wonder.
Here we go. What are you doing? Okay, Wild Pyromancer. And a Consecration. Okay, so he's wiping my board. And he's got the Pyromancer out. The worst thing is if he, Blessing of Kingses that Pyromancer, because then he could just keep wiping and wiping and wiping, and that's dangerous.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Because he's got a healing deck, I can't afford to have that Pyromancer standing out there. So I'm hand puking. I can't let him have that out there, because if he's got to have a healing spell. He's got to have one of the shamans, the 3-cost shamans that heals. Because that just seems like his deck. Choose a champion, he'll kill off my Berserker. Or not. Okay, or silence him. Okay. That's fine. And a Blessing of Kings. Okay, so he's going to trade off against that. That's still 2 cards to 1, so I'm still getting very good card advantage from this. And I'm fine with him doing this, because if I draw my other Arcanite Reaper, he's dead. And I'm not going to throw out my Frothing Berserker. I just got to end turn. That was a horrible pull, because anything on the board would have been good. Anything with a greater than 3 health, or 3 health or better. And an Acolyte of Pain. That's very interesting. Acolyte of Pain this late. He's used up all of his Guardian of Kings. Let's see. Okay, so he's trying to flood the board and finish me off. And that's a very real threat. Harvest Golem. Okay, so now Harvest Golem and Frothing Berserker, armor up. I've got to armor every turn. So let's see how he deals with this. Because what I've got now is an alternate condition. I can make him deck himself. Because with that Acolyte of Pain, I actually want him to draw 2 cards. So it'd be fine if he, you know, attacked in and drew a card, because I want him to draw that second card. Because he's getting low, and I may be able to outlast him. That's one of the best parts, is because I've got a lot of card quality, when I top deck with this deck, I have a very high chance of pulling a good quality troop. You know, I've still got my 2 Shieldmasters? I don't know, this game has been going on for far too long for me to remember. So I've got Shieldmasters, I've got another Stormwind Champion, I've got another Ogre, I've got another Yeti. You can't target him, what are you doing? Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Archer Protector. Silly me, I thought he was trying to buff him up. Okay, so that's dangerous. Now he's got a very dangerous board position. And is he going to attack in? I mean, it's fine, because I'm just going to look to kill off that Fairy Dragon. Yep. It's fine. Fairy Dragon. So yeah, he's getting low on cards. Oh, Taskmaster. Not the best, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off his Acolyte of Pain with it. That makes him draw another card. And while as silly as that sounds, it's still good, because he's getting very low. And I've got a lot of health, and I've got another Cleave in my deck. I've got another Firey War Axe in my deck. And he has to keep trading off, because he's got to keep himself at a decent amount of health. So I'm not worried about this. Oh no!
My eyes.
Of course he has an Earthling Farseeker. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
And a Wild Pyromancer. Well, I actually don't mind that Wild Pyromancer play. Okay, yep, 3. Armor up. Kill off that Farseer. Get rid of it. Because if he casts any spells now, his Pyromancer... Yes, you are almost out of cards. Almost out of cards and almost over the allotted time limit for a match. My gosh, his turns take forever. So the Pyromancer now, he can't cast... Oh my gosh, he had a second Swamp Ooze! Fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine, no, really. So I want to keep his Pyromancer alive if at all possible, because that means he can't play another card. I've got to just kill one of his troops with it. At this point, it's very worrisome, because he's out of cards, so he's only got the 2 that are in his hand and his hero power. He's going to trade off his 2 existing tokens, and if I drew something like a Cleave, that'd be fantastic. 10 health. He can only do one of those per turn. Stormwind Champion, do it. Okay. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to start to take battle fatigue. We're at the very end of end games now, and we'll see what he does. Okay. Swing in. Okay. He's got to have a spell, that's why he did it. Yep, equality. Okay. And he had to kill his Pyromancer first before he cast equality. Otherwise, it would have wiped his own board too. Mad Bomber kills his own guy. Hit him. Ah, got me too. That's okay, Mad Bomber. I still love you. Cleave would be great. Oh, you think you got me? You don't got me. I can armor every turn. You're just taking damage, and all you can do is throw out one of those. The Loot Hoarder, that's a clutch Loot Hoarder. Because now he's got to trade one of his guys off, and I get 2 cards next turn. Shattered Sun Cleric.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. Getting close. Getting close. Okay, and a Divine Shield. This is great. Because now he can't kill off my guy. So this means I win. Because he can't kill both of my troops. And I can armor every turn, and he can only put out a 1/1 every turn. So, he'll die before I do. Well played. Not sure if he noticed this, if he knows this yet. Yeah, that wasn't. That was a game is over, not a you've won. Yeah, go ahead. Because next turn I'm just gonna kill off his Mad Bomber and.
I fight.
And then one of his guys, and this is where he'll start to get the picture that he's lost. Yep, take 4 damage now. Yeah. Your deck definitely is... Yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, his deck definitely was long game, playing the long game, but can't handle that long. And this deck has a lot of card quality, so value in each drop, especially when it comes to top deck mode. Whew, grueling endurance match, but excellent. So, as you can tell, the Budget Warrior deck is a fantastic, cheap, effective option to help finish off your dailies and squeak out those extra wins against decks that have better card quality. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please take the time to subscribe to my channel, let a friend know about this deck, click the like button, and leave a comment on this video page. And, as always, I'm MSB, wishing you good games and good times.